Hi Foundations, let's review how to use our calculator and a table of data to get the correlation coefficient and then the equation for the line of best fit using technology. So the first thing we're going to do is take out our calculators and we're going to go to the stat button. Okay, you're going to do stat. If you have your little cheat sheet here, stat, and then you're going to pick number 1 to enter or edit the data. Okay, if you have data from before, which I'm sure you do, okay, you clear the old data by going up and then hitting clear enter. So we're going to push the buttons clear and then enter. Okay, we're going to go with L to L1 and do the same. We're going to hit clear and then enter. Okay, make sure you're hitting this clear button right here. Clear, enter, and the data should go away. If for some reason you don't have both of your columns, you can go to stat and you could do a setup editor. When you do that, okay, it puts all your lists back there for you. So we're going to go back to stat, go to edit. You might still be there if you didn't leave. And now it's time to enter in the data. If you have your table of values, the X column is going to be the roll number, and we're going to enter that into list 1. Okay, so we're going to hit 0, enter, 1, enter, 2, enter. Remember what I said about going extra slowly, very carefully. If you make a mistake, you're going to get the wrong answer. 7, enter, 8, enter, 9, enter, 10, enter. I highly recommend going back through this list just to make sure you didn't miss anything. Okay, now it's time to go to list 2. We're going to have list 2 be our Y values. This is the number of dice. So we're going to do 30, enter. If you make a mistake, you could go right there to that number and you could just overwrite it. If you I typed 31, hang on, I have to change this to 30, enter. 24, enter. 20, 18, 16, 14, 11, 10, 8, 7, 5. I highly recommend going back through the list just to make sure you didn't make any typos. Okay, make sure the data's all there. And remember what I said about entering the data? There should be an equal amount in both of your columns. We should have the same number of values entered into each of them. Okay, now that we have done the entering of the data, we need to get the regression equation. The way that you do that is you hit the stat button again. Okay, the first time we did edit, but the second time we move over to this calculate. So you're going to arrow to the right to calculate. And do you remember which one we use? We use number 4, the linear regression equation. Okay, so this is going to calculate the linear regression, but we have to enter, 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 and actually get down to calculate and push enter. Okay, I really need you to look at your calculator. Do you have the same numbers that I do? Okay, we have the data, and now we have to write down some information with it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, what did the calculator generate for the correlation coefficient? Okay, there's 2 correlation numbers here, but we're interested in R equals. R equals negative 0 point. Okay, and now we're going to round to 2 places. I cover everything up with my finger. Is under my finger big or small? Since that's a 6, that's big. 97 is going to get bumped up to 98. So 0.98. That means that the data is negative. I agree. the data is negative, going downhill. And this is pretty strong. Is the data pretty narrow and really close to the line? Yes, it is. Okay, this is really nice, strong data. It's not wide. The second thing we're going to do is use the calculator here to write the equation for the line of best fit. Now the equation formula right there is y equals ax plus b, but we're going to have to put in the a number. The a number right there, I'm going to round to 2 places, and since under my finger is small, negative 2.27. Negative 2.27, okay, that's the a number. Then you write your variable x. And now I need a b number. The b number right here, I'm going to round to 2 places. Under my finger is small, so I'm going to keep it as 26.18 plus 26.18. That is the equation for the line of best fit. I'm going to go make sure this looks good. Does this line look like it has a negative slope? Yes. Does the y-intercept look like it should be 26.18 for the y-intercept? Yes, it does. So this looks like the correct equation of that line. Okay, let's just talk about a couple of things here. We had x as the roll number. Okay, so the x variable represents roll number. Here it says roll number. Okay, on the x-axis, roll number is your x value. The number of dice remaining, okay, is what the y variable represents. Number of dice remaining, okay, and that's on the y-axis. So you have to know what represents x and what represents y, because now we're going to do some calculations with it. Okay, so the first thing it says here, use the equation based on this line, based on the equation, predict the number of dice after roll 11. So I need to know, is 11 the x number or the y number? Since roll number is x, that's telling me that they want x to be 11. All right, now that's very different from this next question right here. This next one says, predict the roll number when there are 20 dice remaining. Dice remaining was our y variable. So here, y is equal to 20. Now we can look at the graph to kind of get a little prediction. If x is 11, here's 11 for x. It looks like, it's going to be right about here, but I certainly don't want to guess this number. It's going to be between 0 and 5. This is a different question, okay? Part D says if there are 20 dice, so let's go to number of dice for 20 dice, and I go to the line, okay? The answer for that, it's going to be between 2 and 3, okay? But once again, we don't want to guess. So how are we going to figure this out? We're going to use the equation. I'm going to take 11, and I'm going to plug it in for the x variable. The x is going to be an 11. Let's substitute it in. So y equals, we're going to calculate negative 2.27 times x, which is 11, plus the rest of the equation, 26.18. This is just going to be done with the calculator. Let's get our calculator over here. I think I have to go over here. Negative 2.27 multiplied by 11 plus 26.18, okay? All right, what did you get, class? Type it in. Come on, play along and tell me what you get for y. I am getting 1.21. 1.21. Did we say the answer was going to be around 1? We said it was going to be, around 1, okay, between 1 and 5. And since this is the y value, this is dice, the number of dice remaining. Okay, so I'm going to say sentence. After the 11th roll, we predict that the number of dice remaining will be 1.21. That is just a prediction. Okay, now it's time to do this last one right here. There are 20 dice remaining, and that is the y value. 20 is going to be substituted into this y spot right there. 20 equals negative 2.27x plus 26.18. Okay, remember when we did this in class? How are you going to get that x number? You're going to have to do some solving. So first, let's subtract 26.18 from both sides. If you like to build the wall, you can build it right here. Okay, these are going to cancel out. Let's use a calculator. 20 minus 26.18 gives us negative 6.18. Okay. And then, how are we going to solve for x? Let's divide both sides of the equation by negative 2.27. Okay, and now we're going to get x. Okay, go ahead and type that in, please. Okay, so I am getting 2.72. And since this is x, that is the roll number. Okay, now we can go ahead and make a sentence with this again. When the roll number is 2.72, we predict that the number of dice remaining, we predict the dice to be 20. And that's kind of what we said. Okay, when we had 20 dice, remember how we said it was going to be between 2 and 3, and we got 2.72. Okay, your job is to do the rest of this packet. Good luck, Foundations.